Hello and welcome to the Three Knocks at Midnight podcast. I'm your host, Gabe,
And I'm Gato.
and your source for any horror-related stories, urban legends, myths, anything scary. We're due for a movie, by the way. I think we need to do, I
I
guess, another scary
I
movie.
was I was just thinking that we haven't done a movie in a while, but that's because not enough good scary movies have come out lately. So
Yeah, we did watch The Watchers
oh,
by Shyamalan, produced by Shyamalan, but
it was the
his daughter,
daughter.
yeah.
Yeah, how's that?
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay.
I've heard a couple of things about it. Um, I'm at a point where I'm just gonna watch it anyway, regardless of what people say,
Yeah.
just because I feel like people are too critical, but also like I just want to see by myself, like for myself. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I think
so
it's an interesting concept. It plays well into some real, and I use that word lightly, real life myths and all that stuff. But I feel
hmm.
like scary movies are just like you watch the first half and then you shouldn't watch the second half, you know?
There
Because
shouldn't be a conclusion.
yeah, there shouldn't be because that's what is great about the scary movies, the mystery. And then as a movie, you're supposed to wrap it up. You're supposed to explain things, and then the scariness falls apart. I don't know. Although, what was that one movie? I already forgot. The one where she slices her head off. The movie before Midsummer. Midsummer.
Oh, Hereditary.
Hereditary. That one did a good job of
I
still
I
keeping
think
the mystery.
there's some good movies that. Well, there's a difference though. Keeping the mystery versus like making it not scary at the end, kind of like a happy conclusion, right? Like, yay, the day is
Yeah.
saved,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Versus, oh man, this sucks. That's happening, and everybody loses at the end.
I would suggest watching it on a $5 Tuesday. That's what I'll say.
You mean streaming like the week after?
Yeah, I would stream it.
No, all right. I'll watch it. I want to watch
Yeah.
that, and I want to watch The Exorcism. I think it's called, with Russell Crowe.
I don't think I saw that trailer.
So Russell Crowe plays an actor playing a priest, where they make a movie about The Exorcist. It's like,
Oh,
and it kind of goes into the haunting of it and stuff like that.
mm,
It's not a true story or anything like that. It's
oh,
just I think it's loosely based
the
on the
filming of
original
it.
Exorcist. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Um,
interesting.
I'm interested. I've also heard things, like, oh, it's the worst, but I'm like, I don't know. People said the same thing about the Pope's Exorcist,
Mm,
and I actually thought that was a pretty decent movie. I thought it was kind of good, but
okay.
anyway. Anyway,
Yeah.
today we won't be talking about movies. We will
No.
be
No.
doing some real life TikTok stories
Yes. More
because
wonderful
we
TikTok stories.
we love these. We love them so much because they're truly scary.
Yeah. As a reminder, if you have any good stories for us that you want us to share, or if you have a really creepy story that you think will creep us out, send it our way.
We really need to get an email going.
Yeah, we do. Or Discord or something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so this first story is by Nora Hartz. I feel like I should have like something where when we get into the story, the lighting changes. So it goes into creepy mode. That'd be a cool idea.
Like go into red.
Yeah. Okay, so this story was by Nora Hartz. Every time I tell somebody this story, they have the most horrified look on their face. When I tell you I have tried to record this video 10 times, either the audio wasn't working or TikTok wouldn't keep my recording. So let's hope this one works, and I'm going to tell you what happened in 2022. This happened when my son was about 5 months old, and he and I were sharing a room. Now, let me say this first. He was sleeping 8 hours completely through the night. I was getting enough sleep, and I was sleeping the best I've ever slept. Currently, he's a toddler right now, so this is not sleep deprivation. I want to say that first and foremost, and there are other people who are involved, so let's get into it. I was about to go to sleep for the night and was scrolling on my phone. I'm at my parents' house, by the way, at this point. I roll over in my bed with my phone to face the direction of my bedroom door, which I had kept open before all this happened. I hear somebody walking up the stairs, which I assume is my brother, because he lived there too at the time. But he stops at the top of the stairs and kind of just peeks into my room a little bit. That was the outline of my brother. So I look at him and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He doesn't answer me. He just keeps staring at me. I say again, "What the heck are you doing? Why are you just staring at me?" At this point, because it's dark, I could only see the outline of him, or it. It moves in front, like right center in my door, and it's just staring at me. I look at him and say, "Sam, what do you need?" This all happened in about 5 seconds. As soon as I realized that it was not my brother, I sat up in bed, jolting upright. As I did that, I'm still staring directly at whatever it was. It just disintegrates like sand into the air. I don't know how else to explain it. It sounds crazy, I know. Just sand, just disintegrating and disappearing. I didn't go to sleep that night. I was wide awake, freaked out, but I didn't say
Mhm.
anything until the following week. At this point, I shut my bedroom door because absolutely not. I'm about to go to bed again. I'm scrolling on my phone and I roll over once again and face the direction of the door. This time in the pitch black. It's the outline of my son's father. At first, I was like, "Why are you just standing there?" Because he was living with us at the time. Then I realized in my brain that he wasn't supposed to spend the night that night. He wasn't supposed to be there. How could he get into my house at 10 at night when everybody's asleep?
Mm.
It's the exact same thing. I grab my phone, turn the flashlight on, but this again, I saw it like this again, and she snaps her finger. At this point, I'm not a super religious person, but I felt like I needed some religion in this moment. So I went to my parents and told them what was going on. My parents were not believers before this story. I've always had weird things happen to me throughout my life with paranormal stuff. They didn't believe me, but I asked my mom to get one of her close friends, a close family friend, to come pray over my room because she's done that type of work for years. She goes and prays over people's houses to remove spirits attached to them. So to her, it was just to entertain me and make me feel safer. The family friend came over and she said, "I'm going to pray over your room and see what's going on." I said, "Perfect." She was up there for like an hour, a very, very long time. When she came back downstairs, she talked to my mom for a bit and then left. My mom told me that her friend said in all her years doing this, she had never walked into a room or a house and instantly felt chills all over her body. That's exactly what happened when she walked into my room. She said she prayed over it uh, for that long amount of time, and whatever was there was gone. She rebuked it in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. She also told me some prayers to say if it came back. My parents from that day forward are complete believers in the spiritual realm. I am as well. It was so terrifying. I haven't seen it since, and I hope I never see it again. But yeah, that's my terrifying story. I don't have any explanations for it. I have so many other stories that also have witnesses, but it's already super long, so I'll keep it at this. That's my unbelievable ghost story.
That is very creepy. That reminds me. That's like shadow people, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then I don't know because I feel like shadow people. Whenever I hear stories, including my own, they tend to like move really fast, and they're like wisps.
yeah,
Does that make sense? But the fact that this one stood there and stared at her, that's really
yeah.
freaky.
Peeked in. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Ugh. Yeah, I just got chills just thinking
Yeah.
about that one. That's not fun.
The funny thing is when she did say Sen, I immediately thought of Spider-Man when he
Oh,
disintegrated
like the
the
Sandman.
snap.
Oh, equally terrifying.
Right?
All right, so our next story comes from Jordan Huxhold on TikTok, and this is what he says. So I have a story from when I was 17 years old that to this day is unsettling to me and scary, and I still don't even know what to make of it, to be honest. When I was 17, my best friend at the time, Matt, wanted to go visit his brother in Mississippi with the Navy. He lived in his house with his girlfriend and another guy who was Navy SEAL. I never met him, but I thought that was pretty cool. So the whole plan was to go to Mississippi and then go to New Orleans and hang out with and hang out on Bourbon Street and do all that. The drive was about 2 or 3 hours. Matt told me, "Hey, by the way, my brother's house is haunted. They've been having some problems. Isn't that crazy?" I immediately got irritated that he didn't tell me that before. If you know this about me, I grew up in a haunted house, and my parents had to have priests come through and bless the home and all that. So there's history there for me, and it's just uncomfortable to me. I don't want to be around it, and that's it. We ended up getting there and meeting Matt's brother and his brother's girlfriend. They were super cool, and we were all hanging out. They told us about what had been going on, and it was getting really bad for them. They told us a story about what happened in the house, and it was really sad. It was about a mother and her son. The son was playing in the driveway, ran into the street, got hit by a car, and passed away. The mother, being depressed, hung herself on the ceiling fan in the living room. We were sleeping in the living room underneath that ceiling fan. Matt decided to get really drunk, and everyone else went to sleep. It was midnight, Matt blacked out, and he was dead asleep. I was laying on the floor in the living room next to Matt. We had blankets and pillows and a big flat screen TV in front of us. I put on something happy, the movie The Jerk, and was slowly nodding off. Do you know when you're sitting at night in front of a TV screen and can kind of see the light flashing over your eyelids? I was seeing that. As I was falling asleep, I started feeling footsteps pressing into the carpet around my body. I thought it was maybe Matt, so I turned to look. But Matt was sleeping, so it wasn't him. My body went into a state of fear. I felt frozen, paralyzed, and I didn't know what to do. Next thing I knew, the screen in front of me went black, and it felt like there was somebody standing over me, which was so unsettling to think about. I started praying. The only thing the only thing I felt able to do. I prayed, "God protect me, please go away." I didn't know what to do and ended up falling asleep somehow. In the morning, I told them what happened and they said, "Oh yeah, that's her. She walks through the hallway through the living room." And I was like, "Okay, that's creepy." But fast forward to the middle of the day, Matt's brother and his girlfriend were out. His girlfriend's name is Sarah, by the way. We were sitting at a round table in the back. Behind me, there was a doorway leading to the front door, to the hallway down to the bedrooms, and then the living room. Matt and I were eating boiled peanuts, talking and laughing, and we're in a great mood. Matt looked right past me and said, "Sarah." And I told him, "Matt, Sarah's not here." And he repeated, "Sarah." And I told him again, "Matt, Sarah's not here." Then the door at the end of the hallway slammed shut. Without saying a word, Matt and I sprang up and hauled butt out of that house. I've never run so fast in my life. We sat outside until his brother and his brother's girlfriend Sarah came back. We didn't go back until they returned. We told them what happened and they said it's normal, it's been happening, and it's creepy. To this day, I don't really know how to explain it, but I thought it was really creepy.
That's so creepy. But how does you're telling me it's taking the form of someone. It's morphing into, I guess,
I wonder if he just thought it was her because it was like I'm
someone
assuming a
else.
young
Yeah, so
mom,
yeah.
and maybe he didn't see like the face, maybe like it was far enough, and maybe it was facing the other way. But yeah, that's creepy. These are like these are very strong apparitions.
My gosh.
I
But the
don't have
TV, man, that's so weird that they just accept it. What can you do, right?
um I've yeah, but I've I've heard stories from people that I mean, what do you do at that point, right? Like they just accept it. They're like, well, they're not hurting us. They're just kind
Yeah.
of here, and even though it's like scary and unsettling, it's like nothing else to do, so they just kind of like they're good with it. I don't know. It reminds me of that story of that girl that was living in the apartment, and she had a cat and got rid of it, and so this like ghost kid
Oh,
started
the
appearing in
ghost
front
kid.
of her
Oh
bed.
my gosh, that story
Yeah,
is.
it's but it's like that to me. That's traumatizing. And I'm like, if I like was in bed and I opened my eyes and there's like some kid just standing there every time, that would be I don't know that I could do that. I think I would just cleanse the house, sanitize it real good.
I mean, the human condition. We can adapt to things really crazily. Like, I guess there's a point
Mm.
that or house bills are just housing is so expensive. You're like, no, I can't afford to move out. I gotta stay here, deal with this.
It's like, all right, you can stay, but you gotta pay rent
Pay rent.
somehow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's freaky. I'm glad I haven't had anything like that happening here.
I know, right?
Cause well, I mean, I don't know. To what point would you deal with a haunting in your house?
Like,
Like, what would be your breaking point of saying like, okay,
oh
this crossed the
man,
line. I'm not living here anymore.
if it hurts my kids, that's probably the biggest. And I've heard stories, like scratches on their back.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be ghost. If it's bed bugs, yeah, burn the house down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be the moment it started hurting kids or possessing them, which I don't think it would happen, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
physical
super
harm,
creepy.
or I don't know,
Yeah.
or emotional
Well,
harm too.
I think if it was keeping me up every night,
Yeah,
like if it was like, okay, like it's starting to, um,
affect your sleep and
yeah, affect like
work.
just daily life stuff, I
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
like, all right, like either you go or I go. Cause yeah, that would suck. But if it was just like noises, I would deal with it. If I saw things here and there, I think I would probably deal with it too. As long as it wasn't like horrific, I guess.
no, I get you. I get it. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
like sometimes
I
things, creepy things do happen, and then I'm like, I process it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that must have been that. So my brain's able to like uh dispel it before it goes too crazy in my mind.
yeah. No, we try to do that here too. If we hear like crazy noises, we're like, it's probably like when we shut the door and then the wall moved a little bit and it pushed this a tiny bit and it fell off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like we have to rationalize it.
When I was at my wife's parents' house, right? Their door did the thing that we saw in that one TikTok video where it slams shut. And I was able to repeat
Really?
it over and over because you leave it open and it would slowly close, and then right as it gets to the door it just slams.
Um,
And it was
you
it
know
was a
who?
wind thing. It was a air pressure thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I took video of it. I forgot to send it to you,
Ooh.
but I was like,
Well,
oh, that's probably what's happening in that room.
we'll have to go. We'll have to go over it next time then.
Yeah,
We'll just start the episode. We'll show it and talk about it for a second. But it's really funny because you know, do you know who Jensen, is it Ackles or Ackles? Jensen Ackles? You know who that is?
do not know.
He's an actor. He's in a Supernatural.
Oh, okay. The main guy.
Yeah, he plays one of the brothers.
Okay, yeah, I think I do.
So he was at a the there's a talk show. I don't remember which one. I want to say it was the Graham Norton show, the UK one.
Yeah,
But he talks about paranormal experiences because I guess he gets asked about that all the time because he works in he did Supernatural, and he was saying that he never believed in it. He's like, no, I that's whatever. It's like TV shows and movies. But he says that um, his wife was recording and called him and said like, "There's a ghost over in that room," and so he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's closing the door or opening it and stuff like that." And so they started recording it, and the door would like close, and then it would like slowly open, and then the wife was like, "Do it again," and so the door closed, and then it opened,
hmm.
and then they're like, "Okay, but like really do it." And so then it like shut the door, and then it like slammed it open again. And so then Jen's like, "Yeah, so that's that." And so I was just like, interesting. Like, I mean, I don't know. Is that a draft? Is that air? Because they say that the door closes and it opens.
By itself,
Yeah,
and it's only that door.
I apparently. Well, I don't know. I mean, it was a 2 minute long video, so
Oh man, it'd be great to like be there and then just to test it. You know?
yeah, be able to actually tell it.
Yeah, right. I would. I
Close it
would.
again, open it again, but like you be there, not just the video.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be the real test.
Coming to mind is that one police video we watched. Remember that one? Where the door is like
Police.
that shutter door, and you think it's like a window behind it, but they go inside the room, and then there's like
Oh,
no window or anything.
the one in Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man,
Well, it's the
that's
fact that they go in and around and they still see that the door still like
yeah,
going.
yeah.
I just got chills just thinking about that again.
That's a creepy one.
Man, we should have named this show Three Chills at Midnight because
Oh
I
yeah,
get
yeah,
chills.
yeah.
I get chills all the time, man.
Oh,
I want to know from our viewers, how far would you take a house hunting? Like, would you deal with it? Would you be out of there like the moment you know there's something weird going on? Would you get out of there or would you like stick it out? Uh, be really curious. And if you have any current hauntings in your house, please let us know about it. We're very interested.
yeah. Send us a video, and
Ooh,
we'll see
yeah.
if we can figure it out, or we can share your scaredness and creepiness.
Yeah, I'm down
At
for
least you
both.
won't be alone. Oh man, but yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on today's podcast of Three Knocks at Midnight. And let us know what you think of these stories.
Yeah, make sure
And
you hit like and subscribe, comment on below anything about the questions we have, or any stories or anything you want us to talk about next time.
mhm.
We're always open to that.
Yep. And we'll see you next week. Until then, I am Gato.
And I'm Gabe.
Peace.
Peace out.